Greetings, Stalkers, and welcome to the Grymm Mansion. My name is Abominathan, your fellow scientist made out of multiple bodies, and I'm joined by...
Weird Outreach. You're a funny looking occultist.
Funny that you say funny, because today we're talking about funny, or should I say clowns. You know the one,
Killer variety.
the specific variety or the specific species known as killer clowns from outer space. That is way too long of a title. The candles are lit, the circles have been closed, and the words of power have been recited. Let us begin tonight's gathering. Killer clowns with a K, both starting with a K, from outer space.
Killers is already with a K.
What?
Killers is already with a K.
Yeah, but clowns with a K as well, because I don't think it. Yeah. Exactly.
No, yeah.
My English is not that bad. Okay. This movie surprised us. I think we can agree, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's an indie movie, right? It's an indie movie from the
B
80s.
movie, if you want to call it.
A B movie from the 80s.
It is more like a proof of concept, or what I really want to call is that it's more like a show-off movie about what these visual artists could do with their makeup and costuming and visual effect department, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like the idea for the visuals came first, and then the plot I think came as
second to
as
it,
an
yeah,
afterthought.
yeah.
I think, yeah. So without further ado, the movie opens. You know, it's a town from undisclosed state in America. You know, there's a typical, officer looking for troublemakers to arrest. Cut to a parking lot. Young teenage couples or young adult couples making out, watching the
Top of the world.
stargazing and stuff like that. We are introduced to the first two protagonists and then the first two supporting characters, which are the Terenzo brothers. And man, I think you should take over. Explain these guys.
Well, they come into the top of the world on their ice cream truck, trying to sell their ice creams, I guess, to the lovers out there. Trying to break the ice with a lot of sexual puns, trying to convince the two girls that were in the ice cream truck with them to make out with them.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, it's they I think the kids nowadays call it Riz, which is something that they
Never say that word again.
Okay, sorry. They don't have
charisma.
Charisma. It's charm, I guess. Charm, something like that. It's the stuff that you have and I don't, essentially. Yeah, I guess they're closer to me in that department, but they compensate by I guess trying to attract girls with ice cream, which honestly that's kind of a genius move on their part.
Everybody likes ice cream. But yeah, they are scurried away. People are throwing all sorts of stuff at them. This is when everybody sees a shooting star passing over really, really close by to their woods.
A big one that actually falls at most like a few miles away, like not even miles maybe. But yeah.
It's in the outskirts of town.
Yeah, it's very close by.
We have a little interaction with a man and his dog, Pooh Bear, who thinks that he struck rich because the comet, Halley's comet, has landed on his backyard. And when he goes over there to find it,
I don't understand. Does he think that there's gold inside Halley's Comet? Is that the
he has probably no idea. And probably there is gold inside of the comet. There's all sorts of rich materials inside of comets, right? And meteors and asteroids and all kinds of
I
stuff
mean,
like
it's
that.
mostly ice. Halley's Comet, I think, is mostly ice. I mean, I don't know what exactly is in there, but I
Yeah,
just,
the trail, it is made of ice, I guess. Regardless, the point is that he thinks that this rock is valuable.
yeah,
But when once he arrives at the location, he finds it filled by a big top.
yeah. It's a giant circus tent, a glowing circus tent at that.
Hmm.
Yeah, he starts with the dog. He starts just like kind of looking around.
The
He,
dog gets abducted
what in
very
tarnation
quickly.
is going on here? Something like that.
After the dog gets abducted by a hole that pops open on the side of the tent,
Yeah,
and a clown just snags it with a comically large net.
yeah, and then another clown appears behind him and zaps him with a gun.
Yeah, we don't know it yet, but it gets turned into cotton candy. All of these
Mhm.
guns and like the stuff that the clowns have is just ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Getting a little bit ahead of ourselves,
Yeah,
because
we do get a first look at the design of these clowns. So these are like, so imagine if a clown, instead of the makeup just being like random colors and whatever, the clown was actually cosplaying as a creature that looks like that. And that's what this kind of is trying to be, essentially. Hard to
they
explain, I
do
guess.
look very weird, out of
Yeah,
proportion, cartoonishly
yeah,
evil and mean, with a lot of props that would look comical at first,
yeah.
but that are just deadly.
So we go back to the parking lot, and these two this couple, it's Mike and Debbie, I think.
Guy and girl,
Guy and girl. Yeah, in my notes, guy and girl.
exactly.
I think her name's Deb. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Mike and Debbie. So Mike is the funny type. He's constantly cracking jokes, and he wants to go with Debbie to check out the. And actually, both of them
it's
are.
her that
Yeah,
convinces
she's
him.
like, yeah, we should go check it out because like it was really close.
Yeah, no way. It was like miles and miles away from here. No way. It does turn out that it is pretty close to them.
Yeah, they go with the car. They find the circus tent.
And now she's the one chickening out, not wanting to check it out
Yeah,
because I mean, it
because
should be a comet in here and not
yeah,
a tent.
it's weird. It's uncanny to have a circus tent because it's in the middle of the woods with no roads leading to it. It's creepy. It's weird. But Mike is like, "Oh, come on, man, just go." And they enter, are led into a series of hallways and pipes and rooms that are just super weird. When we watched Alien, and in Alien, the spaceship has all of these these weird
Always.
like organic stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I know
Alien.
what you mean.
Yeah,
Like lots of tubing and
yeah. So imagine that is a goth version of this. This
yeah,
is like
the
the
fun
the
house.
yeah. This is
Pee-wee's fun house.
the pastel goth version of Alien, of the ship from Alien. I don't know. Anyway,
Not very far away from it, I guess.
yeah, and then they arrive at a room which has this sort of Tesla coil thing,
A plasma ball.
a plasma ball. Yes,
And it's like a pit, like an exhaustion vent. I don't know. It looks very weird.
and that's when they realize, oh, this is not a circus tent. This is some kind of like
Spaceship.
super advanced facility. This is a spaceship. Debbie actually comes to that realization first. She's like, "This is the thing that fell from the sky. This is like a UFO."
What we went to find, yeah.
Yeah, and interestingly, Mike is the one that's like, no way, like it doesn't make any sense. This is probably like a some kind of a military facility or whatever. But anyway, they have to get out of there.
Yeah, because the
Um,
clowns show up with the
yeah,
popcorn guns,
yeah,
and yeah, they do find the cotton candy cocoons, and they do find that there's like people in there.
yeah.
So eventually
No,
they are chased out with the popcorn guns.
yeah, the old guy who died in the previous scene. They actually find, so Mike apparently recognizes him, and he recognizes that he's the guy that's inside of a cocoon. Yes, and they're chased out with these popcorns. Like the popcorn gun just shoots, sprays them with popcorns.
The
But they,
popcorn gets stuck to their clothes. It's going to be important later. Don't forget that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But they manage to escape. And then, how do we even describe this? This group of clowns comes out. One of them grabs one of those long balloons, makes a dog out of it, folds it into a dog, and then puts a leash on the dog, puts the dog down, and the balloon dog starts sniffing their tracks.
Yep, checked
S-
out.
To, yeah, to chase after them. They get to the car and then they run over one of the clowns. The clown's actually fine, and yeah, they escape to clown.
Yeah,
Wow.
the clowns just is completely shrug off the damage.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we do get introduced to the buddy cop duo of this movie. An old chief of police called Mooney, who thinks that the entire town is out to get him. And I think it's Dave, the
Dave.
young
Yeah.
officer. Our first interaction with them is when Mooney brings two punk-looking kids that were apparently just drinking wine outside on a Friday night, and this cop is roughhousing them, throwing them in jail, and like everything short of beating them up.
Yeah.
While the younger one seems to be more temperate, telling him that if he doesn't change his ways, he's going to lose that badge. Apparently, Mooney is take no shit Korean War veteran that
Dead's
is extremely paranoid for some reason.
yeah, and also dead set on his beliefs, completely just like, you're not gonna get me, that type of mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Even says that actually at some point.
Yeah. So our couple, Debbie, decides to call the police. She knows someone. She convinces Mike to go over to the station because she knows someone in there, and she thinks that she has a better chance at being believed, I guess.
Yeah.
Obviously, when they're telling their version of the events to Dave, Mooney overhears it and
Yeah.
laughs them off the station almost for trying to make the police look stupid.
So Dave, the younger one, is established to be the ex-boyfriend of Debbie,
Hmm.
and that's why she thinks he'll believe them. And he kind of does at first. He's like, okay, like we'll check it out, because Mike is mentioning that the other guy, the old guy, is dead.
Someone is
He saw
dead.
his
There are two
body,
murders. Yeah.
and then he doesn't really. I guess he's not really buying the whole like cotton candy clown thing. But they're reporting that a guy's dead, so
He's going over to investigate.
at least check it out. Yes.
Hmm.
Eventually they go ahead and I don't think anything happens between this.
They leave Debbie home.
Yeah.
That's
Because he's
it.
like, it's too dangerous for Debbie to go.
And now
That's,
Mike is afraid that Dave is going to shoot him at the top of the world, put a bullet in the back of his head.
yeah, that would be the perfect opportunity, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Because he's clearly still hung up over Debbie.
Uh-huh. We've got a little love triangle thing going on,
Mhm.
kinda.
But the twist is that when they reach the top of the world where the big top should be, they find nothing. And Mike is arrested for wasting the police's time.
Yep. So meanwhile, the clowns have arrived at town, and because they do look, at least on the surface, they do look like regular clowns. People don't seem to notice the weird teeth, or they just probably think it's like part of the costume.
Mm-hmm.
They began to just do some insane shenanigans to pull pranks on people, while slowly but surely turning them all into cocoons with their laser guns. They lure people in, they do like impromptu stages and like just
They take pizza over to people's
yeah,
houses.
yeah, they
They
visit.
ride into motorcycle clubs with pedal tricycles.
Mhm.
They're all sorts of to take people into their cocoons to turn them into
Yeah.
juice.
There's a very long, drawn out scene of them at a grocery store, completely trashing the place, and the guy, the poor guy in the counter, is taking way too long to decide what to do or what to say. Just watching them do that.
He seems to be the only one that understands how creepy these clowns are
I guess,
from
yeah.
just by looking at them.
Yeah. Oh, right. There's a scene with the clown and the bike. Like, there's a biker gang that sees the like the smaller clown with his with his tricycle, and the biker gang thinks, haha, this is a clown we can bully and whatever, and they try to do their things. They try to they trash the tricycle, and then the clown just punches him, and his head just comes off. Just kind of reinforce just that they're at a completely different level. Dave and Mike are coming back, and they pass through the parking lot, the original parking lot, and Dave stops the car, and he goes check out it because there's these several cars who seem to have to like be just like abandoned suddenly, and just like there's litter on the floor. It's weird. He goes check it out. He sees that there's a car that is full of cotton candy inside of it, appears to be, and there's this pair of glasses. And suddenly he's like, oh, okay. He goes over to Mike, and yeah, because he had arrested him. So he had to put him in handcuffs and whatever. He takes it out of the car and takes out the handcuffs and shows him the glasses. And Mike is like, dude, that's what I was talking about. And he's like, okay, I'm sorry. I guess I overreacted a little bit. So yeah, now he believes it and sees this is actually a problem that's going on.
By the time that this is happening, the chief of police is starting to receive all these phone calls about the clowns trashing and killing people, but he will not believe a single one. As we said earlier, he thinks that the whole town is out to get him on this one.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The other two, eventually, Dave and Mike, eventually find one of these clowns using shadow puppets with his hands to kidnap a bunch of old people.
Yeah.
They try to. Mike takes over the cop car and tries to run over the clown, but he just jumps into back to the tent, I guess, because we never see him again.
I don't know. It's yeah. These clowns sometimes they just like they jump. I don't know
They
if
have cartoon logic.
yeah. I don't know if they teleport. I don't know if they. I don't know. They just disappear into the air. They do that several times.
This is when they decide to get the state police to help.
Yeah,
And
because this is
Dave
getting
calls,
a serious problem. Yeah.
getting out of hand. Yeah, Dave calls to Mooney over the radio, the cop radio, the car radio,
Mm-hmm.
but he refuses to help once again. So
Yep.
Dave has to go to the station in person, while Mike grabs the Terenzi brothers to use their ice cream truck and warn everyone about what's happening. Try to get their attention, I guess.
Yeah, these two brothers, they I know you
Two
think
brothers.
they're like, I know you think we're kind of dumb, but we're not this dumb.
Oh yeah, they're also not falling for it. True.
Yeah, but then they run into a parade, a literal parade
Oh yeah,
of
the clown cleanup parade
yeah, and they see firsthand people getting turned into cocoons.
being vacuumed into this comically large Hoover, I guess.
Yeah, Mooney finally gets to see with his own eyes.
And he still doesn't believe it. Right, right until the moment the man dies, he does not believe that the clowns are
Yeah,
real.
this dude is stubborn as hell. Gay Clown just enters into the office, sprays him with a water flower. Yeah, he arrests him, throws him in the cell. So the same cell that has the other two punk kids. And right after, and there's some weird stuff. He cuffs him and then his hands come off. Yeah, he's like there's some weird stuff about this
He
clown.
turns his head 180 without moving his body, and then uses his body to move. He
And,
also knocks out Mooney.
yeah, he knocks out Mooney finally with one of those party poppers. What are those called? I never know what those are called. Party.
I also don't know what they are, but it's those things
There's the
you
you know.
you blow on them, they unfurl, and then they furl back. Regardless, Dave, when once he gets to the station, he finds all these clown footprints that lead to the cell where he finds the two kids in a cocoon,
Yep.
and later finds one of the clowns puppeteering Mooney. He shoots the clown in the nose, and that's when he finds out that
They have a
they have
weakness,
a weak spot. Yeah, the big red nose is their weak spot.
which honestly is like the most stupid weakness. Like
If
imagine
you
just
think about it, a clown is nothing without his red nose.
that's true, but it's like it's a thing right in the middle of the. It's the easiest target, man. You
Eh,
you could you could break that accidentally. You could just bump into a wall accidentally. Like it's just whatever.
but it's funny.
It is funny, yes. It's so stupid. It's funny, yes.
Okay. So yeah, eventually now the popcorn starts springing to life into other clowns, I guess.
It's like larva. It's like
Yeah.
they
Maybe
don't have
this
a
is the
body.
infant stage of the clowns.
Yeah, yeah. I would say like again, it's kind of similar to Alien. I think this is because Alien came way earlier than this. I think they're kind of taking some inspiration here. In which you have like the head and the long body, of the small kind of infant
Hmm.
stage of the clown. And yeah, they terrorize Debbie in after she finished showering. Yeah, she's been showering for this whole time, by the way. I don't I don't know how long has actually been like
I don't know, but she wants to clean herself of these clowns.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, she got to take her time, yes. The clowns have essentially arrived at her home. They're terrorizing her. She tries to jump out the window. They're waiting for her with a trampoline. Yeah, they put her because obviously she has plot armor because main character. She is put into a balloon instead of a cocoon.
And they take her to the amusement park, which is where they're hiding now. This is kind of the logic that the rest of the gang follows in order to get to the clowns. Like, where would they hide?
Yeah, makes
The
perfect
amusement
sense.
park,
It's
right?
their natural
Natural
habitat.
habitat, exactly. And so the first thing that they do when the clowns get there is to melt this security guard with pies. They melt him into
Yeah,
a pile of goo,
and then they
just
put a cherry on top.
on top, of course, to make it look like a pie. And inside, the guys, so Dave, Mike, and the two brothers, the ice cream brothers, they kind of have to go through this sort of inanimate funhouse. It's all moving. It's like it's off at the moment. But they go through some theories about what the clowns are,
Mhm.
about
What
what,
they want? Why are they
yeah,
here?
and most importantly, how to kill them.
Yeah, Mike for a second talks about the ancient alien theory.
That our clowns are now based on the ancient aliens.
Yeah. Oh man.
Funny. Anyway,
Lorenzo brothers, like one of them presses a button, and then after like after Mike and Dave, because they're like stay here. Mike and Dave turn around, and in like the same second, they're both fall into a pit of balls, into a ball pit. I mean.
they do find the cocoon room, and there is this clown person using a clown person.
No, you have to describe this like this. So yeah, so they get to the cocoon room, and then this Donald Trump looking clown appears, takes out a comically twisted straw, sticks it inside of the cocoon, and starts drinking from it. And that's when they're like, okay, they're eating people. This is for food.
And they're drinking people.
Drinking, yes, not eating, drinking people. But then what are their like pointy teeth
Teeth
for?
for?
Or
Who
anyway,
cares?
whatever. Just for show, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, they sneak through this clown, they find Debbie, and they pop the balloon with her, where she is, I should say, and they
Mhm.
make a run for it. On
Meanwhile,
the way out, though, go on.
meanwhile, the Torenzo brothers are distracted by these two female clowns, and the way because Mike had a try the way that Mike had convinced them to help him was that he had two hot roommate that Debbie had two hot roommates that they could hook up with, and so they see these two clowns and they're like, oh, are you Debbie's roommates? These guys are just
Yeah. Anyway, on their way out, the funhouse is now very much turned on. That
yeah.
did not come out the way I intended it to. Anyway,
I mean, yes, in a way.
so they kind of have to fight their way out. And in the end, they are surrounded by all manner of clowns. Possibly even some of the townspeople now transformed into clowns, who knows? This is when the ice cream truck shows up and uses its PA system to address itself as Jojo, the great clown, and that they should, just let them go,
Genius move.
whatever. Yeah, completely genius move. But that is until the actual Jojo, the great clown, shows up. There's this gigantanormous clown that comes from the top of, well, the ceiling of the big top.
Gigantanormous.
Gigantanormous, yes. It's actually being held up by strings. I don't know if that's supposed to show. That's even more terrifying, because who the hell is puppeteering this clown,
Oh yeah, that's oh wow. There's always a bigger fish, I guess.
Yeah, the implications are huge. Anyway, they fight through this madness and trying to get away. You take over because I stopped taking notes here.
Right. So this gigantanormous clown grabs the ice cream truck, starts flinging it, starts banging on it, and then just throws it, and it explodes. Then Dave stays behind to try and distract the clown while Mike and Debbie make a run for it to get out of there. Meanwhile, the state police arrives. This is while Dave runs out of bullets and then is grabbed by the giant clown. Oh, and meanwhile, when the state police shows up in all the cars, like 5 or 6 police cars, they see that the tent has begun to spin and to lift off slowly.
They got what they came for.
Yeah, I guess they replenish their
Stokes.
their supplies. Yeah, and so Mike and Debbie are out. They already got out at this point, and they're just looking at this, and they're like, "Oh no, what's going on?" So Dave is about to, I guess, be eaten by this, or just killed in general. Maybe, I don't know. When he has the genius idea of taking out his badge and using the pin on the badge to pop the big red nose of the gigantanormous clown, and he blows up, and the entire thing blows up into fireworks, and the only thing that is left is this clown car that falls from the sky, from the wreckage, and they're all pointing their guns to the clown car. They're anticipating for more clowns to come out of the clown car. Dave comes out coughing, and the Terenzo brothers come out. Apparently they survived because they hid inside of the freezer of the ice cream truck to survive the explosion, I guess, which, I mean, kind of makes sense. But yeah, they were the ones driving the clown car and saved Dave at the last second. And yeah, and then more candy falls from the sky, and everything's fine, because they defeated the clowns. The end. Man, what a movie. If we want to go for analysis, yeah, like, I would say there's not, this isn't exactly like, as you said, it's a B movie. You're not gonna have a lot of depth, I guess, but we could always theorize, because I think it's interesting, the interesting scene of Mike and Dave kind of discussing where these clowns came from, what does their planet look like, what are they, why are they here, Why, if they're intelligent, why aren't they talking to us? All these are very good questions that they pose. And it's interesting to imagine because if there's a planet in which I guess the normal looking creatures, or the typical, the not even the normal looking ones, the dominant species of that planet looks like that, like what other creatures are there in there? Like is it just like a clown planet?
Oh, I would love to be there.
That would be interesting, yeah. And also, if there's a clown planet, does that imply that they have amusement parks that are in which people dress in like suits and ties and eat like salted things instead of sweets?
They don't eat popcorn, that's for sure.
They eat like steak and sausages? Is that no, sausage is kind of clowny. Yeah, like what are their amusement parks like?
Their entire planet is an amusement park.
So they're always entertained, is what you're saying. They
Uh-huh.
don't need, because they're always, that is,
Mhm.
it's their life, their entire being.
I guess so. But if you looked at the way they attack people and
Yes,
everything about them is fun.
I guess. And then that does pose an interesting question, which is it just a coincidence that there are clowns in our world?
No, I
Or is
kind of
it
tend to agree with this theory.
or
Not
is it
probably the
like,
ancient aliens, but maybe we were visited by these
yeah,
some point before, and those who survived decided to make clowns as a way to ward them off.
it's an interesting theory. It's weird that we don't see any evidence for it in like archaeologically, but who knows, maybe, a lot of evidence was okay, I'm not gonna start quoting any sort of pseudo archaeology, so I think I'm gonna stop at that point. Yeah, but just in general, I think it's fun. It's like we were expecting this to be like a bad movie. I think, yeah, we as I said it before, like we were pleasantly surprised. It's actually like it's fun. It's not taking
We
itself
love this
seriously.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's not taking itself seriously, and we
That's
love
the most
that.
important thing. Like if you don't have a budget to be able to make something serious, just show that you can make something and make it
Yeah,
good. This exactly what it is.
yeah.
Is it a horror movie? Probably not. It's horrific,
I
like
mean,
the situation, but
it's trying to be, I guess.
if you think about the implications, yes, but the movie does not present itself as scary.
I guess, I mean, it's kind of, because you could compare it to like It and Pennywise. The thing about like Pennywise is that Pennywise is a lot. It's more serious.
Presentation.
Yeah, exactly. The presentation is different. Just the way that it's written and all that is just like, this is very
And to be
goofy.
fair, Pennywise needs you to be afraid for him to feed. These guys
There,
are just harvesting
yeah,
you for whatever
yeah.
nutrients they consume.
There's also that. Is that Pennywise is a clown by chance. It's not really like, there's not really any reason other than people are afraid of
I think he
clowns.
likes him. I think he likes them.
Or maybe that's it. But I feel like it's also because it's again, it's like the chicken and the egg. Like, are people afraid of clowns because of Pennywise, or is Pennywise a clown because people are afraid of clowns? I don't know. Chicken and the egg problem. But anyway, we're not discussing Pennywise. What I was saying was, in the same way that Pennywise is a clown, a horror creature that is a clown in the shape of a clown. These are also horror creatures in the shape of clowns. But yeah, as you said, it's like the framing is different, the tone is different. Um, yeah, it's. I think, I don't know if you could. I don't know if you should disclassify it as a horror movie because it's fun.
No, no, no,
Yeah,
no. Of
yeah,
course
yeah.
not.
I don't think so.
Again, the if you think about what's happening,
Yeah,
it's
it
horror,
is.
but
It
the
is like,
presentation is not of a horror movie.
yeah, like there's scenes like the scene in which Mooney is arresting the clown, and then the clown kills him and then uses his body as a puppet. Like, that's pretty horrific.
Probably the most horrifying scene in the entire movie.
Oh, and I forgot another scene as well, in which apparently they can mimic people's voices.
When they
To
attack
have,
Debbie.
yeah, they pretend to be Mike's voice. And that's pretty scary. Like and the whole the whole thing with the popcorn that are apparently like larvae that then turn into these weird like creatures with the head of a clown. Like that's disgusting and terrifying and just like it's like gross. It's yeah, like that's very horror indeed. But yeah, it's, it's then you have the good ending, the kind of cliche, I
Good
guess.
ending. I mean, they leave. They already took a bunch of people.
They don't leave,
But
they die. They blow up, dude. They
oh yeah, Jojo blows up, and
It
with
was a
it goes the entire
genocide.
big
All
plot.
of
Yeah,
them
yeah.
are dead.
Fair enough. My bad.
Yeah.
I was thinking about what could have been.
No, I agree. I wish that was the ending. Was they just leave and we could have more. We could have, or I wouldn't say we could, because we could have more with other ones. But I guess it's just, at least it would have been. It would
Something
have been.
tells me they'll be coming back.
Yeah, it would have been a good ending for those clowns at least. Because they don't deserve to, like, they are here. They're just trying to feed and to reproduce. That's it. Like, it's okay, bro. Just let him. Just
Let
let him
them do
kill.
the thing.
Let
Yeah,
him kill people.
it's just a village.
It's their it's their nature. Like, you don't criticize a lion for eating a person. Why should you criticize a clown for eating a person? That sounds so weird out of context, but rolling with it. What else is there to say about this movie?
Not much really. It's a fun movie. Go watch it if you haven't.
Yeah. The yeah, it's just I we don't have a lot of movies like it because modern movies just aren't like this anymore. Not really.
You gotta look hard to find something like this.
Maybe, yeah, because there's always people. There's always the people like us who are, I guess, we're both nostalgics in that sense. And there's a lot of people that like to revive this kind of older, more innocent time of movies and media in general. And yeah, we need more stuff like this in the world, I think.
The 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 cocoon. 10 cocoons out of 10 popcorns.
Guns.
Guns. Wait, is there a plural for, like, can you say popcorns plural?
No,
Or
popcorn guns. Popcorn guns.
popcorn guns? But it's a good question. Like, I was asking, like, is popcorns like the plural, or is it like
Popkernel.
popkernel? Is it like sheep, in which the plural and the singular are the same?
I
don't know.
guess.
Maybe. It's uncountable, possibly. Anyway, without further ado, the candles are out, the circles have been erased, and we will let silence reign again. The Grymm Mansion is closing its gates. Have a horrible night, and until we meet again.